Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. Today's video is supported by Min H, who donated to see Sotage taxes in action. Now, by Sotage, I mean Sword of Truth and Justice. So this is a sword that gives pro white and blue, and when equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on any creature you control, and then proliferate. The idea here was that we would use Luminarch Aspirant to put +1/+1 counters on our creatures, and then get a huge power swing when we connect with Sword of Truth and Justice. Sword of Truth and Justice was a card that I was super excited about. I had wanted a blue-white sword for absolutely years, and the metagame just has to be right for it. And right now, there's a decent amount of white removal, and so we're gonna give it a shot and see if it works out. I am also using this as an opportunity to test an idea that I keep coming back to because I want it to work and it never quite works, and that's the idea of 2-drop taxes. I love the idea of just being able to leave the Aether Vial at 2 and never having to tick it up to 3. And I think in a more aggressive build, we might be able to make it work. The reason why I'm re-exploring this idea right now and leaving out format staples like Flicker Wisp and Skyglaive Apparition is because of the existence of Esper Sentinel. Esper Sentinel can give the deck more turn 1 plays and keep the deck sort of going as we get to the mid-game. If you put a couple counters on this with Luminarch Aspirant, or you protect this with Mother of Runes or Giver of Runes, and you actually get to draw a bunch of cards, like you don't run out of gas like the 2-drop taxes lists have done in the past. Now, when I played another kind of similar looking list to this a couple of weeks ago, I tried out Chrome Mox and I was really happy with that. I'm just going to try Aether Vial today for the sake of like trying the other way. And I tried Squadron Hawk and the Force of Virtue in that deck, and both of those cards just honestly felt like trash. They felt like the worst things in the deck, and I sideboarded out the enchantments in every round. I still think the deck needs a flyer, and so I've chosen Serra Avenger. So my conceptual plan here is that Serra Avenger with 1/1/1 counter on it gets to stall Ragavan and Dragon Rage Channeler and Delver while still also attacking in, and so I think that sounds potent. So this is not the most controlling version of Death and Taxes. In fact, it's pretty far away from being a control deck. We're bordering on aggro here. We're like disruptive aggro. This is closer to a white weenie deck. It's not full on aggressive, but it's sort of taxing more on the Esper Sentinel way than on the traditional, like, Thalia Port sort of way. And in fact, I've gone down from the traditional 23 or 24 lands to 22 lands, assuming that Esper Sentinel draws me some cards and that we maybe don't need quite as many lands come endgame. 23 might be right. It might be correct to just, like, remove this Spirit of the Labyrinth and just play the 23rd land. I'm not sure about that. We're gonna see how this feels. I'm not interested in just like trying to play the deck list that is going to win the highest percentage at the time here, so much as I am interested in, hey, let's try out some ideas, let's see conceptually what works, what's worth following up on. That's the sort of stuff I'm more interested in. You know, I'm not grinding D&T leagues in preparations for showcase challenges or anything right now. You know, I get one D&T league every few weeks, so let's try something interesting, give some people some things to think about. As far as the sideboard goes, I've kind of split it into two columns. The right column is all of our various combo hate, and the left side is for our various fair decks. Ratchet Bomb is not a card that I traditionally play in this deck, but I wanted something that could clean up Urza's Saga constructs, and also just a lot of the other random BS of Affinity, and I've chosen Ratchet Bomb. You can go something different there. You could play a Pithing Needle, you could play a Stony Silence. There's options there. Ratchet Bomb is what I'm trying out. I'm also playing Sunlance because against Delver when you're on the draw, I think it's very important to have an answer, and I don't necessarily want my answer to accelerate my opponent into expressive iteration right now. So we're going to try Sunlances. I am still playing one path because Murktide Regent is a big that will not be killed via Sunlance. All right, let's go ahead and give it a shot and see how this league goes. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. There's sweet legacy content 7 days a week. Well, sometimes 6. Sometimes we play some modern or vintage or something. And for everyone else, please throw me a like before we get started. It helps out the content a lot. Praise the algorithm and whatnot. Let's battle. All right, round one. I think my opening hand is a touch Mana Light, but I get to start on Esper Sentinel. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. And my opponent took 1 mulligan. Mountain, Goblin Guide. They're playing against Burn. We'll have some options for how to play out turn 1. Like, do I just play Esper Sentinel, assuming that it eats a bolt and maybe draws me a card? Or do I just take out the thing that deals damage to me? Sarah Avenger on top. Sure, I'll take 2 and go to 18. Like, the thing about Goblin Guide is it can help me just hit more land drops. But my opponent mulliganed once already. The thing about playing Esper Sentinel here is that it makes it more likely that my Stoneforge Mystic result, like, lives and can put in a Batterskull. That is appealing to me. And this also lets Goblin Guide attack in 1 more time and potentially give me a land drop. Alright. Swords to Plowshares. No block. Into Pyrostatic Pillar. Alright, that draws me a card. Alright. So, in the face of Pyrostatic Pillar, I probably need to just remove the Goblin Guide. I'll Swords to Plowshares their creature on their turn. I'll let them attack in and maybe give me a land. I've got 7 cards in hand, so I don't have to discard. Alright, so we'll let Goblin Guide attack in. Oh, Goblin Guide doesn't attack in. Cheeky. I mean, I respect it. It's pretty obvious I have Swords to Plowshares. Alright, another land drop. 3rd land's okay. I really wish it was a Plains. I'll probably still play it anyway. There's Price of Progress to think about. Alright, opponent goes to 20. I will play it. Take 2 from Pyrostatic Pillar. Yes, and I will find Batterskull here. I don't think it's crazy to grab Kaldra Complete and just say, like, I need to race my opponent, but I think either way, Stoneforge gets bolted, and this one's easier to hardcast if, like, it comes down to that. Alright, what are we getting? Alright, so Pyrostatic Pillar deals 2 to them. I'll get to draw a card. It's a land. I think I waste... I'll waste my waste and just go down to 1 land. I lose out on the possibility of double spelling, but it saves 4 life. Sure. Not the play I'm happiest about, but it blanks a spell. And now, like, Stoneforge just has to be removed here, I think. Unless Pyrostatic Pillar happens. Or not Pyrostatic Pillar, Sulfuric Vortex happens. Alright. Esper Sentinel is drawing me cards. So at this point of the game, it feels like I need to clock and kill my opponent, and Luminarch Aspirant is very good at doing that. It will have the upside of putting extra counters on Esper Sentinel, increasing the chance that I actually will get to draw a card. So we'll do that, and crash in. In theory, I don't need to play any more spells this game. That's a Sulfuric Vortex. Okay. Do I win this race? I might just win this race. I hit for 4 and then 5, and my opponent will... Yeah. I don't play any other spells this game. I just attack my opponent. It's a little weird, but feels correct. Guess I split these due to removal spells. How would you like to navigate this game? I would like to not play spells. Cool. I have my opponent dead on my turn, so they can beat me with double spell that deals damage here. Flame Javelin? I have not seen that card in Legacy basically ever. Alright, do you have a Lightning Bolt effect? It beats me if you do. Otherwise I kill you. Fire Blast. Okay, due to Sulfuric Vortex, I can't gain life, so I am dead. GG's. Aspirant almost kind of turned the corner on that game. Pretty happy with how I played that one. Okay, this is bad. And this is probably bad. Most of the rest of the stuff in my deck is reasonable. I want Jitte, and I'll probably just play 1 or 2 Sunlances to kind of round things out. Maybe drop 1 Avenger since it's not castable early on. Like, Avenger is totally fine in the matchup, but I have other things that I want to be doing in the early game. I would like to play first. And is reasonable. Not insane, just reasonable. I think I will keep this. Like, Aether Vial does a lot of work against the Pyrostatic Pillar and Eidolon type cards. And a lot of times the burn deck gets a little more controlling on the draw anyway. Flame Javelin, though. Alright, I will take 1 off Swift Spear. That's fine. And we'll take Vial up. Alright, so we'll play Karakas. Jam one of these onto the board. And put a counter on it. And pass the turn. Alright, opponent's got land into probably kill Aspirant. Oh no, new Swift Spear. Sure. I don't think I can reasonably block here. I think I just have to take this hit. There's just way too many things that can go wrong. And we'll see if we can get a Giver Runes to live. Yes. Giver. Pyrokinesis. Well, fuck me. That's not good. But you probably don't need me to tell you that. Alright, I am sitting on a lot of nothing here. But my opponent does not know that I am sitting on a lot of nothing. And that is my largest advantage currently. They may not be able to just attack in. Shit. Alright, they attack in. I'm in bad shape. And we can always no to that. Alright, so I get Batterskull next turn, but I can't gain life. I would say my opponent takes down this round at this point. Like, I need to draw well, and they need to draw a little poorly, I think, in order for me to take down this round. Yeah, I've got nothing. Alright, something is coming in. Am I getting fire blasted? 3 mana. Is this that Flame Javelin again? Yeah. Alright, that hurts. Okay, that's not a bad draw. I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will play Batterskull. And I will gum up the board. I will then play Stoneforge, get Kaldra, activate Kaldra on my turn, crash in for 9. My opponent needs to blank multiple times. Yeah, alright. That is me being dead. I can't beat the Sulfuric Vortex clock mathematically at that point. GG's. Ahem. Well, this hand is a bit awkward if I'm being honest. Like, that one's just gotta go back. We don't have a game plan. This hand is a little strange, but solid. So we're gonna go Plains Aether Vial and pass the turn. And see what awful things my opponent has in store for me. Oh, we are playing against Affinity. That's fine. Athalia. Do I want to just double Esper Sentinel now, or do I want to play the Aether Vial now? I think I just want to play the Aether Vial now. It's very close, though. I just think that I'm going to want to Swords to Plowshares prior to putting Thalia into play next turn, and then that means I don't really have a good time to cast this Aether Vial if I don't do it now. Cranial Blading. Sure. And a Frogmite. Okay. That's all fine. I'll tick both of these up. Now, this changes things. So now, I'm going to activate this. Yes. Put in an Esper Sentinel. And then, mid-combat, I will put in a Serra Avenger and Swords to Plowshares, another creature on my opponent's side. Although it is possible that I should Swords to Plowshares now for the artifact count to make things like Thoughtcast worse. I don't know that I actually like doing that. Just pass the turn. I don't feel like I'm super heavy on the tax plan right now. Yep, I mean, Thought Monitor is very good. Now my opponent gets to draw 2 cards. Mirror Enforcer. Yep. And we're going for equip Cranial Plating there. I will fire this off now. And then maybe Frogmite in combat. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent holds it back. Yes, in goes Serra Avenger. Alright, I think at this point I always know to both of these. A Spirit of Labyrinth. That's not bad. I will in fact hold that up rather than just Vial in Thalia. Let's play a new Vial. Crash in for 3 in the air. And opponent goes to 17. Ancient Tomb. Thoughtcast. Nice, the Esper Sentinels taxed for 2 mana and lost my opponent 2 life. And now, after those resolve, we'll put in Spirit of the Labyrinth. Lol, 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 lol. It honestly just feels a little mean. Oh shit, that's my tech. Oh no. I did this. I did this to myself. Alright, Thought Monitor gets sacrificed. They have like a God Pharaoh statue. That was what I was getting. Oh god. Alright. Flying, First Strike, Vigilance, Trample, Haste, Protection from red and black. Okay. Wait, hold on. Flying, First Strike, Vigilance, Trample, Haste, Protection from red and black. They don't have a way to instant speed equip Cranial Plating, so I can kill Frogmite for free. Oh wait, they're indestructible? No, they're not indestructible. That's not one of the keywords on there. Okay, this new Ether Vial can tick up. I'll want that at 2 eventually. Yeah, this is real hard to deal with here. Like maybe I'll get a Kaldra in play? Question mark, and I'll deal with it that way. Let's port down just one of these. I don't think the Ancient Tomb, like, mana is all that relevant at this stage of the game. Yeah. 11. Jesus. Okay. I think I take this hit, and we'll worry about jump blocking later. Because, like, next turn they could potentially deal 16. They can't deal 16 this turn. That Chroma's Memorial was savage. Yes, I'll take that up to 2. Giver of Runes. Giver of Runes is not bad. Giver of Runes. Do these trample? Fuck, they trample. I forgot about that. Okay, I am dead to that. Damn, I just got savaged by a Chroma's Memorial. Alright, let's get some removal spells in here. So, roughly, Ratchet Bomb, Council's Judgment, Sunlance's Path, Jitte. I won't want Sword of Truth and Justice in this matchup. Honestly, I probably don't want Thalia. I don't think... Actually, I might want Spirit of the Labyrinth. Like, the taxation is cool and all, but I think this matchup is more about playing to the board. We need 3 more cuts if I'm going to bring in all of this stuff, which I think I am. Guess it's probably Mother of Runes. Mother of Runes has some use in that, like, the thought monitors are blue. And some of the decks also play, like, white cards or dismembers. Honestly, Mom's really weak. Maybe I'll play 1 Thalia to just kind of round things out. I would like to play first. This hand is a little weak. It will almost certainly get a new card off Esper Sentinel, maybe multiple new cards. I think this is worse than a lot of Stoneforge hands. I think I can get a hand of the same quality by mulliganing. Right. Keep? Feels like keep. That's a weird one. This one needs to rip a source of card advantage or a threat that spirals on its own. Oh, please don't chalice me. Oh, thank God. Alright, Opal. Okay, put one of you on the bottom, and I think there's only 2 of you in the deck. Springleaf Drum, sure. Island, Frogmite, Podcast. I think I say sure to that. I think I just want to remove Frogmite with Sunlance. New Frogmite. Into something off Springleaf Drum. Whip Cranial Plating, sure. Still has 2 toughness. That was a great turn from the opponent. Ratchet Bomb. Ratchet Bomb not looking insane right now. Like, I don't even think I will use it currently. I think we're just gonna chip away at these critters. Alright, new Ancient Tomb. Oh boy. Salamander. Salamander is a thing. Okay, So presumably I am supposed to Swords to Plowshares the Salamander in response to that. They can turn Cranial Plating into a Nettle Cyst then. They go to 16. Oh, they're just getting Mox Opal. And grab, like, Retrofitter's Foundry then? Oh, just an Ornithopter. Okay. Well, I have removal. I want to decrease their artifact count for Metalcraft-based reasons because of these ancient tombs, but no, I'm going to do that. I think I end up removing this, and then I try to use Ratchet Bomb to get Cranial Plating. Yeah, I really needed some pressure to be doing while I did all this, like, removal. Nope, no pressure from me. I think I go for Ancient Tombs here. Alright, just another artifact land from the opponent. But again, like, I need a way to kill my opponent. Aspirant would be great. Land is not what I'm looking for. Ringleaf Drum is fine. We're not going to nuke Cranial Plating until I have a reason to, like, move on Ratchet Bomb. Oh, okay. Opponent is just Stone Cold on nothing. Come on. Now we'll start going after these so that if opponent draws something that's... Damn it. That's so bad. Alright. Cranial Plating equip, yep. Ringleaf Drum, yep. And land. Okay, well. Destroy the Cranial Plating. I get my 1-for-1. I am actually going to hold this Swords to Plowshares, I think, and not just immediately fire it off at the Thought Monitor. I can do that next turn, but I can also just see if my opponent gets something else that I need to remove more urgently. No pre-combat action. I'm gonna go ahead and just take 2 here. I think that's worth it for the flexibility. Ringleaf Drum. Sure. Now I'll get this out of the way. Thank you, deck. Get in there. This can at least take my opponent off of white. And we'll grab the other one too. I think my opponent is just very favored from current board. A lot of transmute artifacts. They went way heavier on this than I did. They were like, do they have like a Retrofitter Foundry? Because it will be so good if they do. Oh no, they can also just like pay a cost difference with Ancient Tombs. Ooh. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. Okay. They get the draw too. And 2 big bigs. That was a good turn. Stoneforge Mystic. I have 5 other mana. I think it's just Batterskull time. Kaldra is cool, but gaining Infinity Life with Batterskull on Luminarch Aspirant is pretty hot too. Yeah. I believe it is just Batterskull time. Use this ability, yes. Batterskull. And then this turn, we'll put this counter here, and that turns it into a 5/5 that can then wall both Mirror Enforcers. That was a very good top deck on my end. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The hell is this? Oh, just cast Akroma's Memorial. What colors do you have protection from? Protection from black and red, huh? Yikes. Wow, that's savage. What a draw. So, like, why? This is black. Why can I... Why is this highlighted? I don't know. This is bad news. Death and Taxes is not designed to beat Akroma's Memorial. Okay, what if I attack him with Batterskull and my opponent only blocks one thing? No, Batterskull doesn't have trample. Yeah, I think I'm basically donezo. Okay, what if I move the Batterskull to Luminarch Aspirant? And then go for a Swords to Plowshares based blowout. I think that has to be my line. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, my germ is still there. That's an oddity. That doesn't happen very often. Alright. Crash in with Aspirant. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this is so good. And remove. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. We got the blowout. Oh god, they're going again. Cranial plating. Uh-oh. Am I dead? I don't want to math it out. Let's just find out. No, it's 11. Okay. 11 means I'm not dead. Aspirant is growing. Removal spell? Wasteland. Shit, can I just move my creatures in a way that I can present lethal? So Aspirant itself is a 3/3. I can move Batterskull back to another creature, making a 5/5. If that gets blocked... yeah, I'm dead here. Don't quite have enough power. And I can't block the flyer the next turn. And the first strike prevents lifelink from happening. Yep. Chroma's Memorial, not a card I was prepared for. Okay, this hand is already an effective mulligan with the Batterskull here, and only a single land. I think I'm going to go ahead and ship this one back, try to find something a little more stable. This one's fine, and the big question with this hand is, like, do I actually want to keep the Ether Vial? Or do I just pitch one land? They were double basic lands, I'd 100% just keep 2 lands, but... interesting. I think I'm going to keep a land here. Now, like the Esper Sentinel and Mother of Runes are both best as a proactive turn 1 play. But this Vial does so much. I'm going to junk the Wasteland here. Alright. Land Vial, go. If I draw a 1-drop, I can absolutely flood the board next turn. Otherwise, I get some options for how to play out the turn. Fuck me, I guess. Okay. Alright, we were probably playing against Cloudpost. That's unexpected. That's a great draw. I think it is correct to just jam both of these onto the board here. Yep, there's a Cloudpost. And a Reclaimer. We'll take this Vial up to 2 and then never touch it again. So we blow up the Cloudpost. We play Luminarch Aspirant, which is going to grow Esper Sentinel, not Nettle Sentinel. And I'll crash in for 2. This scaling tax is not going to be bad at all. Another Pithing Needle. That one draws me a card. You can shut off my Mother of Runes. That's fine. I can also just name Wasteland. Okay, yeah, they're just going to name Wasteland. Okay, so let's always node this. And a Caracas. I can gain 1 damage by putting a counter on the Luminarch Aspirant and attacking in with both of them, but once more lands are in the graveyard, I'll just want 1 bigger body. So I think I'm going to miss 1 point of damage this turn to just keep stacking up on Esper Sentinel. Esper Sentinel. Actually, my protection isn't really relevant in this matchup. Let's go throw green here and just bash in for another point of damage that way. Green, hit in for 4, drops the opponent down to 14, and then I'll play a flyer. Alright, new Cloudpost. Now that means Reclaimer can start activating, which I'm guessing is what we're seeing. Oh, Ramunap Excavator, sure. Alright, that's everything from my opponent. Let's see what we draw. A new Sarah Avenger. So let's repeat the line as last turn. Give this pro green again. I think the tax is already high enough that it's going to cause me to draw a card if my opponent casts something. I just want to put it on the flyer that has evasion here. Okay, so the real question here is, do I cast Sarah Avenger? So if my opponent plays Cloudpost from graveyard, they have enough mana to All Is Dust, which would wipe my entire board. But I guess they would lose their entire board. Glimmer Post could put my opponent to 10. At 4, 7, 8 easily. I will go ahead and play this out. Bad against an Ugin type effect, and good against a handful of somewhat interactive things that my opponent can do. A Green Sun for X equals 6. So that's going to be a Primeval Titan, which will get double Glimmer Post, which is worth 10 life. Or it could get some sort of Glacial Chasm type card too. Do I beat 10 life? 4, 7, 10, 11. No, I don't immediately beat it. Okay. That's exactly what I expected to happen. Now my opponent can just do that again next turn though. I get double Stoneforge Mystic for my turn. What's my plan? I just put counters on Serra Avenger and then save Esper Sentinel to be used defensively after a Primeval Titan attack. That push enough damage. Probably pushes enough damage, and then I have like Kaldra complete to start rumbling in the next turn too. I can deal 11 this turn. That's my opponent to 6. If they gain more life, that's 16. Then I have 12 next turn, plus Kaldra. No, I think I just don't want the Primeval Titan to be able to attack in easily. Let's continue stacking up on Avengers. Hold back the Sentinel. Alright, that puts opponent to 9. Now I Stoneforge. Yes. Grab Kaldra complete. And I think I will do this as well and grab Batterskull in case I need to pivot a little bit. And we grab that Batterskull. This one's a slog. I guess with Vesuvas and active Elvish Reclaimer, things can get a little weird too in terms of my opponent gaining life. This may actually go on for quite some time. Alright, here comes the prime time. Oh, it's a Glimmerpost and a Yavimaya. Oh, and we're seeing something still in attackers. For 8 mana? Alright. I'm going to block with Serra Avenger. I need to deal 1 more damage to this. I think that's just a Stoneforge. And now I will protect my Serra Avenger from green. And we'll see what my opponent can do to me. They didn't kill my Stoneforge. Interesting. Alright, my opponent is tapping 8 mana, which is bad news for me. Oh, new Primeval Titan. Terrifying. That explains why Yavimaya. Then I'm guessing this one gets some combination of Vesuvas and Glimmerposts. Yep. It's obnoxious. So next turn my opponent will probably get an Ayavugan, or they get Ayavugan with Elvish Reclaimer, and then I'm in trouble. Alright, that's a crop rotation. A Wasteland is not bad at all. Okay, that's the Ayavugan, which is a problem. Also, fuck, that's a lot of life. This will be an Ayavugan activation. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. 15. Are they 1 short, or did I miscount? Oh, I think they're 1 short. I think I just got away with not getting Ulamog to this turn. I don't know exactly how to beat the Emrakul later. Guess I have Caracas, question mark. Oh no. So they can just Elvish Reclaimer the forest into a new post, and that gives them enough mana, because they are just literally... Well, no, it doesn't, right? They only have 1 Cloudpost up. Okay, they're just getting a new Vesuva for another billion life. And okay, it would tap for 10. Once upon a time. That's terrifying. That's just multiple looks at an Ulamog, which I don't think is currently beatable for me. Loaming Shaman? What? Okay. I think I am comfortable conceding here. Like, I can Wasteland this, and then my opponent just replays it from Graveyard. And, like, while Kaldra Complete is cool and all, the Annihilator 6 is just too much for me. And the whole Caracas bounce on Emrakul thing is not going to work out the way I want it to. We really don't have things for this matchup. Like, I'll play a Council's Judgment. And that's probably about it, honestly. I think maybe I can play a Path. Path's super awkward. Maybe Giver first. Well, Protection from Colorless is kind of relevant. It's not like my opponent's targeting these. Yeah, this one can go. Yeah, like Sunlance does stuff against their critters, but if the Reclaimer turns into a 3/4, it doesn't kill that anymore. I don't think Rest in Peace is strong enough. Spirit of the Labyrinth as a 3-4, or sorry, 3-1 attacker is not crazy either. I think I'm just going to be submitting the same plan. Post is a matchup that I think is kind of hard for Death on Taxes. On the hands where you're starting with like a Vial and a Wasteland and a Port, like those ones feel good, but otherwise, like, they go over the top of you, as we saw there. Like, I had so much damage with like the Aspirants and the Avengers and stuff, but I didn't have like, I can deal 48 in a turn level of damage. This is a fine hand. It's not exciting. It leads on Esper Sentinel to maybe draw some cards, and then it's just Kaldra Complete in to play as early on as possible, and I hope that that just closes out the game. Forest into Reclaimer. Sure. I'm going to value removing that from play rather than putting the Stoneforge in immediately. I don't want my opponent tutoring lands. Their lands are way better than my lands. Gotta stop that shit. Delicious, delicious water. Yeah, Pithing Needle's fine. That draws me a card. It's just a Plains, but whatever. And I assume this shuts off Wasteland. Yep, that is indeed what happens. Okay. So let's Stoneforge here. I will use this ability. I think I'm going to grab the Sword, since I already have Kaldra. And then play Giver and bash in for 2. Like, I just want to turn Kaldra into this snowbally bullshit threat, even more so than it already is. Alright. A little bit of life for the opponent. Drop rotation. Do I get a card? Not this turn. New Cloudpost. Cloudpost taps for 3 currently. Alright. Land. Activate. Kaldra. I guess I'll play you. Then let's bash in. So this is 5, 6. I think this one attacks in. The protection from colorless is relevant. I think this should be fine. So I guess I should have stopped to see if I had lethal with Sword of Truth and Justice next turn if I did 1 more damage. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I guess like Glimmer Posts mess up this math enough that I shouldn't worry too much about it. Alright. Activate the Stoneforge. Sword of Truth and Justice. Whip it here. Go to combat. This is 7, 8, 9. Actually, maybe I live up double Giver. 7, 8, 9 damage. Theoretical lethal next turn. 2 layers of protection up. Maybe it's better like this. Maybe it's better like this. Alright, Sword of Truth and Justice hits. So we'll put this on Kaldra and proliferate. That's pretty big. Expedition map. Paying the tax. Is there some sort of glacial chasm type land? Tabernacle's not going to do it here. What do you got? Alright, it is indeed glacial chasm. My wasteland is revoked. Or not revoked, needled currently. So that just gets to chill there. Strong. Yeah. We'll hang out. I could move Sword of Truth and Justice over to Esper Sentinel and increase the tax my opponent has to pay to prevent me from drawing cards. I think that's fine. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent gets a couple turns to do their nonsense. Because of the existence of things like Ugin, I'm not gonna play out the Stoneforge here. I'm just gonna hold some cards in hand so I can recover from a Wrath effect if need be. Ramunap Glacial Chasm. That's a thing. I'm just going to be passing the turn here for a little while, it looks like. That's not the best. Opponent is down to 2 after paying for the cumulative upkeep there. Primeval Titan gets double Glimmer Post. Fuck. I think my opponent has officially stabilized. They can't really attack in with the Primeval Titan, but, like, and do damage to me, but they can sure as hell just attack in, get 2 lands, and find Eye of Ugin and I'll lose to that. Double Glimmer Post undoes most of my work. I mean, I'm happy to see this draw. Okay, which creature do I remove? They're both insane. The Reminap allows the recycling of Glacial Chasm, but Primeval Titan tutors for 2 lands, including like an Eye of Ugin. I think I have to get rid of this. But like leaving the Reminap Excavator there is also quite bad. Alright, now that my opponent's at 18, I might need to build up my board some more by playing out another critter. And just like getting the Batterskull to put it into play. Glacial Chasm ticks up to 3, so that's 6 life this turn. So much fucking life. Got another Primeval Titan. Okay. So that one gets the Eye of Ugin and what, probably just like a Cloudpost. They'll be tapping for 7. Oh, just Karakas and Eye of Ugin. Alright, so they're going for Emrakul infinite turns. I think I'm donezo. I'll take another draw step to just like make sure I'm not missing an out or anything, but I don't remove that Primeval Titan and my opponent gets to attack in and just tutor up 2 more Cloudposts or whatever else they want to do. I don't think I come back from it. Even just 2 more Glimmer Posts becomes just a shit ton of life. Yeah. Alright, I think I'm comfortable conceding here. Like, I went big, my opponent went bigger. Okay, round 4 now, I think? I've kept an opening hand, that's just fine. Like, we're keeping this on the strength of Stoneforge Mystic. We're hoping Esper Sentinel draws us another land. I think if this was just like 1 Stoneforge Mystic, I probably would have mulliganed this hand, but the fact that I have 2 means that I just fuck off with this Tabernacle shit. That's so good against this hand. Alright, well, at least I drew a second land. I am just going to wasteland this now because of the presence of Yavimaya and Urborg, turning that into potentially a mana-producing land. Like, I know I'm wastelanding that sucker. Alright, Exploration. I get to draw a card. Into Dark Depths. Sure. Alright, so now it's the age-old question of what do I do with my mana? Like, am I attacking the mana producers? Am I just playing out a threat? Wastelanding against the Life from the Loam deck and the land that has like well over 30 lands is probably not the best long-term plan. Since I can answer a Merit Lodge already in hand, I think I'm going to go ahead and just Stoneforge. This will pick up Sword of Truth and Justice because we already have the others, and I'll crash in. I do not like my position currently. Like my opponent is in the driver's seat here. Oh. Well, I will attack. Oh shit. Ugh. Alright, I don't get to attack with Kaldra complete this turn. That's fine. I'll just put in Batterskull. I'll like work towards being well above 20. Sure. What do you get with crop rotation? A Bayou. And so that I don't discard, I'll put in Batterskull now. Life from the Loam on the Tabernacle. Annoying. This means I have to deal with Tabernacle for the rest of the game. I guess I'm just paying for 2 creatures. Not having the Stoneforge around sucks. Alright, I pay for the Germ. I don't pay for this Stoneforge. I pay for the Esper Sentinel. It's drawing me cards. Cards can be lands. Lands are good. Alright, I hit for 5. Do I want to hold open this wasteland? Not really. I am just absolutely crunched on mana. Maze of Ith and Yavimai's Cradle to graveyard for Life from the Loam based reasons. Alright. Esper Sentinel triggers. I get cards that I can't actually deploy. Yavimaya turns those into mana producing lands. Alright. I think I'm dead. Like, I can wasteland. I'm not literally dead, it's just miserable. Alright. Pay to keep. Pay to keep. Uptick Vial. Oh, what do you have now? Like Punishing Fire, Esper Sentinel? Abrupt Decay the Vial, sure. I can pay that off of Yavimaya. I'm gonna get to draw a card. Goodbye, Vial. Yeah, I'll take it up. I'm getting 1 damage a turn. That's not really changing. I'm gonna concede this one. Like I could wiggle, but I don't think it's going to be entertaining to watch. All right, sideboard. Probably want Path, Rest in Peace, Surgical, and I'll probably play Council's Judgment as well. I just really want to be able to stop things like Valakut Exploration, because lands isn't all about the graveyard anymore. Spirit of the Labyrinth is pretty medium. Thalia Tax is pretty medium. I don't know that I need this many protection cards. Giver's cool. Sword of Truth and Justice isn't really at its best here, but like it's just a sword, and that is protection from Punishing Fire on any one of my creatures, so I think it's fine. I see Thalia being pretty weak. I think I'm going to cut Thalia and then maybe go down 1 Mom Effect. Esper Sentinel drew so many cards that game, I just couldn't deploy them afterwards. This hand is not keepable. Like, it's a Vile hand, but it's a Vile hand that requires more mana to be good. That's just really how this league is going, huh? That's okay. I mean, keep, yeah. I don't think I actually want the Wasteland. No, I'll keep it. Like, the Wasteland itself is wastelandable, which kind of makes it weak here. Like, mana stability is great. I have something that shuts off the graveyard, and I have something that shuts off a major permanent that goes into play. Like, for a multi-5, this isn't that bad. I need pressure, though. That's not pressure. So, I'm going to go ahead and play Aether Vial here. Kind of feels like my opponent might have drop rotation given that opener. I'll bite. Alright, they did have it. So this puts a lot of lands into graveyard. If they don't have Life from the Loam immediately, I get to Rest in Peace, and it's incredibly strong. This is also just a crop rotation that probably has to get another mana-producing land. Unless they just have Yavimaya. A Rishadenport. Okay, that's not really what I was expecting. It'll be good, because I'm on a mulligan. Wooded Foothills and just pass. Sure. Rishadenport just seems weird, a little weird in the face of, like, my Aether Vial. Yeah. That's a very bad draw. Blast Zone. Blast Zone's strong. See if they Blast Zone my Vial now. Nope, not now. A value porting me. That's reasonable. Okay. I'll put Aspirant into play. Let it start doing its thing. Unfortunately, if my opponent has a Punishing Fire, they just get to remove it in this turn cycle. Thespian Stage, sure. Starting to fall into the territory where I have to worry about just dying to the combo. Yep. I mean, Stoneforge is not the worst draw. I think so I don't telegraph it. I just attack with Luminarch Aspirant this turn. There's a different line where I play Stoneforge Mystic and put a +1/+1 counter on it to play around Punishing Fire, but I don't know that that's actually better than just, like, end of turn Stoneforge. Alright. Blast Zone goes up to 2, which is awkward because I have 2 other 2-drops in my hand that are quite good. My opponent is very solidly in control of this game, I think. And Field of the Dead is great inevitability. I'm not going to put this Stoneforge into play this turn. I'm hoping to just get 1-for-1'd by this Blast Zone at my planes. Alright. Try to crouch in. Here comes 4. Mox Diamond. Rove. 6 different names. Yeah. I'm gonna try to get 1-for-1'd. This is a lot of pressure. I get ported. I draw a Mom. Here comes 5. Are we ready to Blast Zone yet? No. Okay. Okay, no other moves from my opponent. I have theoretical lethal on my turn, but like my opponent has. God damn it, it's Tabernacle. That's such a pain in the ass. I think my mana is already in bad shape. I'm gonna pay to prevent both of these. Alright. New land. We'll just go on Aspirant. I think Aspirant just gets nuked this turn, but my opponent could chump block. Actually, I'm probably supposed to pro-black this, so that my opponent has to Blast Zone. Alright, we're pro-black. Crash in. Okay, something's happening. Thespian stage copies Blast Zone. Alright. And then they're going to just Blast Zone for X's 2 and destroy my Luminarch Aspirant. That's fine. We'll try to kind of get there with Kaldra. It is damn near impossible to take that thing off the table once it's in play. Alright. Zombies are a thing. More zombies are a thing. And in the end step, let's grab Stoneforge. Use this ability, yes. Honestly, I'm just going to get Sword of Truth and Justice because I just can't really deal with more bodies in play at the moment. Okay, so in the upkeep, activate Stoneforge Mystic, which puts in Kaldra complete. I'll sacrifice the Stoneforge. Its job is done. I will keep Mom. Okay, am I giving Pro Black? Yeah, probably. Pro Black. Battle. Opponent goes to 2. I can tick Black's Blast Zone up to 1 to deal with my Mother of Runes, and then maybe make it so that they can survive another turn or 2. But Kaldra has First Strike and Trample and Indestructible, and it exiles creatures. There's a lot going on here. My opponent keeps all 3 of their zombie friends. Alright, it looks like we are seeing the Blast Zone now. So in response, I will dump Sarah Avenger into play, which means that I still just have 2 lethal threats. Okay, and there's the concession. Now we have to do it again. I don't think I'm going to be changing anything about sideboarding. I guess I could think about Ratchet Bomb, but it just seems painfully slow. This hand doesn't really have stable mana. If I get Wastelanded, like, this hand does nothing. I think on the draw I'll mulligan this. I would have kept that on the play. This hand is weak. I think I'm going to keep it. Like, it has stable mana. It has a line against a fast combo. It has a line against a graveyard start, but it's just very bad against that Valakut Exploration in particular. I don't want to draw more lands here. Alright, Wooded Foothills. Alright, opponent's fetching. Taiga. And that's it. Am I just gonna get ported? I'm just gonna get ported. I mean, in the face of port, Vial isn't the worst, but I'm really looking for something like an Aspirant or a Stoneforge to work on clocking my opponent. Alright, just Wasteland and pass. Like, my opponent's doing nothing. I want to be hitting for 5 or more damage a turn. Because my opponent is the one with inevitability in this matchup. Punishing Fire. I'm not going to get to draw a card off that, but I will get to surgically extract them. Which I think I will be doing immediately. And draws are not good. Alright. Oh, Force of Vigor. Cool. And there's only 2 Punishing Fires to boot. And Life from the Loam in hand. Great. Great, great, great. I basically lost this game. I kept a land-heavy hand, then drew lands and Ether Vials. Opted to surgically extract a Punishing Fire before I would have to deal with it ever, and then got punished by Life from the Loam. If Life from the Loam hits anywhere close to decently, I am going to die. My opponent also just randomly has Plague Engineers in their deck, by the way. Alright, Field of the Dead from the opponent. Got Tabernacle, Life from the Loam, Waste, Port to deal with. Opponent also has 1 Valakut Exploration, which is a card that I've had on like the forefront of my mind basically the whole league. I'll take these up. Thank you, deck. Thank you for coming in clutch when I needed you. Alright, Mox Diamond. Makes life from the loam better. Wooded Foothills. Cool. I'm just gonna get buried by Field of the Dead, if nothing else. I think I'm more or less ready to concede if I don't draw anything here. Okay, this is just gonna be hard cast Force of Vigor on my 2 vials. That's fine. That's one of their few outs to Kaldra complete, so I'm happy that's gone. Yeah, you can port me. Okay, there's now Dark Thespian Stage in the graveyard. I am not going to beat that recursively. Here comes Life from the Loam on Depths and Stage, and one other land. Misty. Alright, Stage Pass. Deck something? Anything? Like... Why? I'm gonna concede this one. The spirit is broken, and I am bored. That was just absolutely abysmal draws. Alright, final round. Let's see if we can put up a win with this list. Had sort of a rough league in many regards. See if we can redeem it. Swamp. Thoughtseize is very good against this hand. Same with Duress. We're playing against a combo deck. My hand is very bad against combo. Well, maybe I shouldn't go so far as very bad. Like, I still have turn 3 Kaldra complete. Like, that's like turn 3 Reality Smasher. It clocks. Yep, alright. Unsurprisingly, Vial goes down. Planes go. Alright, Polluted Delta. Getting, like, Ant vibes as of right now. Yeah, definitely feeling Ant. And that's a shuffle. Alright, Go Gadget, Stoneforge Mystic. Grab Kaldra. The good news is if I get Thoughtseize, I still do have something else to put in off of it. But like in game 1, I really need Thalia. Oh, Baleful Strix. So it's like Doomsday instead? Yeah, Doomsday. Sure. So activate this, put in the Kaldra, and I just want to start hitting now. Get him. Get him, Germ. I'm indestructible. Indestructible. And then the Baleful Strix does not get exiled because it goes to the graveyard. Like, it dies. In case that wasn't clear. Alright, Doomsday occurreth. Notably, my opponent does need to win this turn. Otherwise, I play Luminarch Aspirant, and I have 7 damage, which kills my opponent. So if they cannot win this turn, they die. Oh no, my opponent is brainstorming. That means they could win this turn. Using Lion's Eye Diamond. So it'd be like LED into something that cycles into Thassa's Oracle. Yup. Cycle Street Wraith. In response, crack LED. Yep. Arrow to graveyard. Alright, Ideas Unbound. Sure. So that empties the library, so now I can't remove Thassa's Oracle and stop my opponent from killing me. That's super disappointing. Okay. I will play the mediocre Deafening Silence and Spirit of the Labyrinth and Surgicals to mess up Doomsday Order. I don't really need Sword of Truth and Justice. I don't need Swords to Plowshares. I think I just assume that I will find a way to beat an Uro if an Uro gets into play. And I can just trade bodies with Baleful Strix if I have to. Like, that's not the end of the world, because I'm going to be keeping a whole bunch of things that protect in here. Let's maybe just go down some generic 2-drop, like a Sarah Avenger. Play with 2 pieces of equipment. The one upside to playing with Sword of Truth and Justice is that it's protection from Baleful Strix and Uro, so maybe I should swap out Batterskull for that. This hand's garbage. This hand's also garbage, but I'm keeping it. So not happy with this hand. I'm going to keep both Deafening Silences in case one gets countered or otherwise removed, but like Deafening Silence isn't even very good against Doomsday. Alright, Delta from the opponent, and a Lotus Petal. Thalia off the top is a sick rip, though. That is an excellent play. Goodbye, Thalia. Yeah, if opponent had that Force of Will, and it's pretty likely, like, they didn't even bother to counter Deafening Silence. That tells you anything. Okay, this is turn 3. I'll pick up an Esper Sentinel and another Deafening Silence. Alright, land from the opponent. See if I just get Doomsdayed. Fetching again. Seems like I'm getting Doomsdayed. They're just going to win next turn despite Deafening Silence in all likelihood. And they pay for the tax because they can't play another spell this turn. Okay, my opponent made their Doomsday pile. It should beat me. I poke them. I don't even get to kill them in 2 turns. Oh, okay. They are not going for a win in 1 turn. By just, like, going all in on Cyclers. Oh, actually, they can cast 1 and then play a creature as a finisher, so they can actually still kill me this turn. But they're not going for it. Yeah, I hit my opponent to 3 here. And then I assume I'm dead next turn. Back. Abrupt Decay, targeting Sarah Avenger. Okay. I get to just draw a card. Alright, that puts opponent to 6. Which I think means I am playing Stoneforge and getting Kaldra, because that threatens lethal next turn. Kaldra, and do the Aether Vial thing. I presume I'm dead to just Street Wraiths here. Yep. Cool. What a disaster of a league. The old 05 league does not happen very often. Let's talk about the deck a little bit and wrap things up. Overall thoughts on the deck list. Not great, but probably better than an 05 deck list most of the time. I felt like we were doing powerful things that just didn't really line up well against my opponent's draws or what my opponents were doing. Luminarch Aspirant made a shit ton of power, but a shit ton of power doesn't beat, Annihilator 6 and or Infinite Turns. I think that sort of thing happened a lot in this stream. Like, Cloudpost is a very bad matchup, Doomsday is a very bad matchup, so I think we hit some of that. I do think the deck needed a 23rd land. Like, when you're drawing Esper cards with Sentinel, you just need to make sure you can deploy them, and we did get stuck on mana a few times. So going down on the 3 drops wasn't enough to go down to 22 lands. So I'd go up to 23. The Esper Sentinel package was eh. Like, it sometimes draws you a lot of cards and it sometimes does nothing. It's nice to have more 1-drops, but I'm not really sure that this is the sort of card I want from Death and Taxes. Like, it doesn't clock and it doesn't really tax. It only kind of taxes. I would probably cut Esper Sentinel from the next build of D&T that I play. I just, like, the card is really hard to evaluate because, like, sometimes it's insane, sometimes it does nothing. I don't know that this is really the sort of effect that I'm looking for. It is really cool with Luminarch Aspirant, and it's nice with equipment too. I don't know. I do like the Protect the Queen nature of Stoneforge Mystic and Kaldra. Like, once Kaldra gets in play, it's very scary. Like, maybe it's correct to try builds with more Giver of Runes to make it so that your turn 2 Stoneforge lives more often, especially since, like, in a lot of matchups, like, there's just literal no outs to Kaldra. So a lot of times it takes something like a Force of Vigor that can actually exile to get rid of it. So against the non-white decks in particular, it's really hard to just take a Kaldra off the table. I would probably not play Sword of Truth and Justice again. Like, card was acceptable. It did things a couple of times, but it could have been any other piece of equipment and done similar things. With Luminarch Aspirant, it has the potential to be really good, but, like, Luminarch Aspirant is already building up power. Do you need another card to build up power like that? I feel like the answer is no. Sarah Avenger was quite good. I liked Avenger this league. So if I was going to like, address the main deck, I'd say these 5 slots are the things you should look at. One of these should maybe be a land, this should be another piece of equipment, and then you've got 3 other slots to play around with if you want to try this 2-drop Taxes build. I'm not sure you actually want to try this build. I don't know that this is better than other things that you can be doing, but it was a fun thought experiment. As far as the sideboard goes, everything was just okay. Like, against Doomsday, we don't really have many sideboard options that are particularly great until you start going to things that are particularly targeted for Doomsday. And I don't think it's correct to target Doomsday right now, since like Affinity and Blue-Red Delver are like really important decks to beat. Maybe you could include a Pithing Needle in the sideboard. That was something I talked about at the beginning. I would be fine with that after playing this league. Hmm. Yeah,